Hey, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at a custom MHS hilt that was sent to me by a client of mine. Um, just a few things that I do want to talk about the hilt, like for the client. I did go ahead and shave down your retention screw like you requested, so now this isn't poking out as much, and it's not poking into the hilt as much when it's of course screwed in all the way. Um, and so this hilt is installed with a Profi. It's got a recharge port, two switches. These switches and the recharge port are both mounted on the hilt. Um, and the battery is housed in the hilt as well. So this did make the install one of the more challenging installs that I've actually had. It was definitely very difficult. Basically, the whole install I had to do it with all the components already housed in there. I had to wire everything in basically through a small hole on the back of this activation box. Um, but it definitely made it a lot more worth it and fulfilling once the install was finally done. So enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and get into the electronics. I'll show you guys how to get to everything. So first of all, you unscrew everything here, or you can just unscrew the pommel, either or. For the sake of showing you guys how to get to the Profi board, I'll go ahead and remove it from here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's see here. All right. So as you can see, um, we'll actually put this to the side. There you have a speaker pogo PCB set. You got a thin neck NeoPixel connector, and you have access to your Profi board here. So in order to get to your SD card, you will need a pair of needle nose pliers, like so. I'll just grab it. I'll just use these, put it in there, grab it snugly and tight, and pull it out. And then you can see that you'll have access to your SD card. Um, in case you want to update the fonts. And here you'll have access to your USB port in case you need to update it or anything like that. Now, in order to put it back, do be careful because it can fall back there and you'd have to take apart the saber a little bit. It, I would imagine it would be a huge hassle, and I wouldn't want you to have to deal with that. So let's go ahead and put it back in carefully, like that. And once it's mounted on there, you just push it back in. And that's pretty much it. Real easy. One thing to the customer or the client, of course, don't remove this because you do have your NeoPixel connector housed in here, and you wouldn't want to snap any of the wires running up the hilt here or anything like that. Um, Now, as far as the rest of the chassis goes, let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Put it here on the side. Okay, so here you do have a speaker pod slash crystal chamber. Um, it does have a crystal from the custom saber shop, the one that has the accent pixel already housed in it, and it does have also the stock custom work speaker PCB as well as the thin neck connector on the opposite side, and a Saber Essentials 28 millimeter speaker. I've never used these. Um, I always like using the Smuggler's Outpost ones, but this is what the customer sent, so I just went ahead and used it. So that is how this is installed. Now, the original plan was to have this kind of free floating here, but the crystal chamber is actually really hefty. So pretty much all you have to do is just press it up against it if you do want to just see it light up and on and off. But let's go ahead and turn it on so that you guys can see how that looks. So of course you pull out the kill key. You do have this accent pixel from Cosmic Intergalactic on Etsy, and this is from Smuggler's Outpost. Um, so in order to see your crystal chamber, of course you just press it up against it, and you can see it there. And of course, you guys aren't hearing anything right now because it was off. And when I put it on here, the hilt was still off, but you didn't hear the boot up sound for that reason. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the kill key back in there. And then we're going to put this back into the hilt. So like I mentioned, this does come off in two parts, and I like putting the the speaker pod / crystal chamber back in there this way, just because I feel like it's a more of a straight shot. So we'll go ahead and screw this on. All right, perfect. Now with the crystal chamber that you have here, actually let me go ahead and show that to you guys so that you guys can see it here. So with your crystal chamber, this exposed part with the prongs, make sure that you insert it facing up with the switch activation box. And once it's there, it won't like twist or anything. You can like try twisting it and it won't go anywhere. Insert this, and there it goes. Just make sure that you keep your D-ring out of the way, because if you keep twisting it, of course the D-ring will get in the way and it won't let you screw on anymore. See, like right there, for example, if I try screwing it on, it won't go anywhere. So let's go ahead and just move the D-ring out of the way and make sure it's screwed on all the way there. All right, so as you guys can see, everything's already in the hilt, nice and tight. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Let me get a blade here. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. So I do have my test blade here. Now this does hold a 1-inch blade, but like I mentioned, I'm using the same test blade I always use with a 1-inch blade adapter. So let's go ahead and insert that in now. Pull that out a little bit so I can insert it in. There we go. Get the retention screw in there. Won't need it that much since it's already really snug in there. Now I don't have much room to swing this around here. It is a hilt that's a little bit on the longer side, so I'll just kind of swing it around slowly, if anything. Let me move this wire here out of the way. All right. So let's go ahead and pull the kill key.
You are the one who deserves to be the Dark Lord.
Customer did ask for the first font to be the Darth Revan font. So I went ahead and did that for him. He did send me a quite a few amount of fonts that he wanted on there, so I went ahead and just added them all on there. Only a few of them he requested specific colors for. The rest are just kind of thrown in there. So let me go ahead and just turn it on for you guys. Oh. Like I said, I don't have that much space here.
All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and force, they're wine to come. Take them all. Whoever comes, whoever it is, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. Everything's gonna be all right, kid.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi. Knights of the Old Republic. Darth Revan. Greed can be a powerful ally.
I am Bastila Shan.
Darth Revan.
And back to the beginning. So the last two sound fonts that played there just now were the Battle 1 and the Battle 2 by Kyberphonic. The only reason and this is just mentioned to the client, of course, we already talked about this, but I do also want to make clear that those are included there with a different name on the sound font folder, because the client is going to buy some other sound fonts. And just to make it easy on him, I went ahead and just renamed Battle 1 and Battle 2 to the name of those two respective sound fonts. That way, whenever he gets the hilt, purchases the sound fonts, he can just go ahead and drop the folders for those sound fonts in the SD card, and he won't have to reconfigure the saber or have to worry about any of that. And he'll just replace basically the folders for the renamed Battle 1 and Battle 2 sound fonts. So that's pretty much the hilt, guys. Let me go ahead and remove the rib section so I can just show you the crystal chamber one more time lit up. I am going to have to be holding it on there. I know I like to do the aesthetic shot where I kind of just leave it in there. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do that with this particular hilt. So I'll go ahead and remove that, put this here on the side carefully, and let's go ahead and turn on the hilt. Now there you can see it on. Very bright, nice looking crystal. Just go ahead and pull it off. Twist it around so that you guys can see the other side. I don't have to worry about twisting the hilt around. And then it just goes into a slow pulse. Go ahead and put that down carefully there. All right, so to the client, thank you very much for your patience, for allowing me to work on this hilt. Oh yeah, just one quick small thing before I continue. There is a small spacer in there. It does have the Empire logo, just to give it some detail. You never have to remove that from the hilt. It is a snug fit in there, so you don't have to worry about it falling out either. And of course, that just serves to press the pogo pins and everything up against the chassis. But to the client, thank you very much for allowing me to work on this hilt. As I mentioned, it was a challenging install, but it made it that much more worth it when we finally got it complete. Thank you for your patience, and to anyone watching, thank you again for watching and for all y'all's continued support. I know I keep saying this, I will have an eventual comeback where I start taking commissions again openly. I can't tell you exactly when that'll be, but hopefully soon. This is a start to that. But let me go ahead and screw this back in here. Just got to get the threads to grab on. I'm just doing it here on the side because I haven't removed the blade. All right. So to the and like I mentioned to everyone watching, well, thank you for your continued support. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll go ahead and get this shipped out to the client as soon as possible. And for those of you who do celebrate Thanksgiving, well, happy Thanksgiving. And to those who don't, happy day. Happy holidays, guys. Y'all take it easy.